Live. We are live, folks, for some current events today. We're going over the news. What's going on in the world this week? We're gonna start doing it as a as a bit of a regular, you know. Each week we'll do a bit of a weekly recap, if you will. Go over some current events, some timely things that we can chit-chat about. We have quite the spread today. Quite the spread of topics to talk about. We have a geopolitical event. We've got a creator crash out. And then we have a potential for a brand to make an amazing deal. A great move. And I don't know if you can hear the song that's playing right now. That's going to be our first topic. Has anyone seen this meme on their TikTok feeds or anything? I love it. It's one of my favorite ones. I don't know how it became connected to the Gulf War, but for some reason there's a million edits of the slowed Macarena. Macarena. And just edits of the U.S. invading. When they found out there's oil. Is how the joke always goes. But yeah, let's pause that. Let me show you that actually real quick before we start. Here's one of them. And you can see already every comment. Maduro today. It's my time to support Trump. My turn to support Trump. Maduro waking up. Maduro watching the sun rise at 3 a.m. this morning. And there's actually an even better one. So this is the generic meme. It's just for some reason this song they connected it to being with U.S. Invasions or incursions into other nations, specifically the Gulf War. But now they have this one.
Attacking Venezuela in a military operation in these early morning.
Honestly, it's pretty crazy when I woke up this morning and heard about it. Hear that? I mean, because these Venezuelans, they had no idea what was going on.
Is that the United States?
But that was a little explanation for the intro song. But now let's talk about it. Why don't we? Trump authorized the capture of. We have some takes we're going to check out. I found some videos of other foreign leaders giving their opinions on it. But so Trump, apparently they'd been planning this for a while. The U.S. and Trump, they'd been kind of at odds with Maduro for a while. And the thing is, whether you agree with it or not, this incursion, or whatever you want to call it, invasion, incursion, I don't think there's anybody on either side who are shedding any tears for Maduro. And he's not even dead. He's just captured. He was arrested, you could say, and he's being brought back to the U.S., the New York, a district in New York, to be prosecuted. And so I guess that's the first thing we can say, is that I don't think anybody's losing sleep over Maduro being taken out of power. Now, where the disagreement comes is the way in which it went down, which people who are not the biggest fans of America or their interventionism or Donald Trump himself, I can understand, certainly. I can certainly understand how they wouldn't like this. And personally, I'll say right now, I'm not exactly sure what the right move was. It definitely seems like it might be setting an odd precedent to do this, take out a leader of a not necessarily even a hostile nation at that point, but um, the question then comes down to, do the ends justify the means? Where the supporters will say, of course, this Maduro, he was a terrible leader. Venezuela went to shit. Venezuelans hate him. There's a diaspora. We can watch that video in a bit. There was a bit of a diaspora of Venezuelans, and they're in today. Today they were celebrating all over the streets, hanging out, rejoicing that their country is free from his rule. But then, the like I was just saying, the way in which they went about it is a little bit, it's perhaps a bit worrisome. And as we've seen over the last 50 or so years, the installing a puppet state or attempting to topple a dictatorship doesn't always work out the best for us, if you will. Now, there's also other extenuating factors that make the situation much different, and it will be, we'll have to watch and see. But I don't know, should I pull out, because they did a this morning they were doing, Trump came out with I don't know if anybody watched it, his thing this morning, his press conference that he did at Mar-a-Lago. I got an eye on it, but the guy was looking tired, to say the least. We'll say he was looking he was trying to do his best Sleepy Joe impression, it would seem. What did I want to look up? Oh yes. I mean, we can pull it up, but the bullet points were basically, they went over the procedure. No casualties on the American side. They didn't really go into, or there were some casualties. Some people were injured, but no deaths. Let's take a peek. Trump. Venezuela. Here it is.
Okay, thank you very much. This is Big Duff.
And Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio. I forget this. They kept calling this guy Raisin Cane. I didn't know that was their little nickname for him, or if that's his given name. I don't think it's Raisin. Also, this is Dr. Pepper, by the way, which we'll be talking about later on. But so the highlights of this was, they went over it. They talked about how it went down, reasoning behind it. And of course, the way that Trump speaks is very verbose, and is always make sure to sneak in that we're the best and all that. But the thing that people were obviously most curious about is, now that we took out a foreign leader, and that's another thing. Maduro, he was elected. A lot of people say elected in his second term, I believe. And it seemed pretty sketchy. So a lot of, like, the UN, most countries don't really recognize that as a democratically elected leader. A lot of people call him a dictator, basically. And that's, of course, Trump would take that opportunity and calls him that. But the question on everybody's mind is, now that he's out of the picture, what's going to go down? How is Venezuela going to be run? Who's going to be doing it? How much involvement is the U.S. going to do? Basically, he's from the sounds of it, he was saying that the U.S. is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting, apparently.
As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping.
Well, and that's the joke that I was making earlier about the with the Macarena Gulf War song. As soon as we figure out there's oil to be found, the U.S. comes to give that oil some freedom, and nobody's standing in our way. It's one of the best jokes around, honestly. By the way, let's listen.
And what could have taken place? we're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if...
Well, I guess we're going to take a little discussion on that real quick. Is because that later on somebody asked if we can find that, but they asked how is doing this, because Trump's whole thing is America first. How is this America first in a way? And he answers, you know, we want good neighbors, we want other countries to do well so we can do well, which is a good answer. But it's also still, you know, the question's still there. How is taking over, basically taking over? It's hard to not put it in that way, but basically doing a coup for the country. How is that America first? And because altruistically, it seems great. You know, it seems like the people of Venezuela hated him. They're going to get helped out. Hopefully their economy becomes very robust. But then the thing is, you know, oil is not going to be around forever. But for the short term, I think in the short term, everything looks like it's probably going to be better. Like I said, the ends probably justify the means for most people, in most people's minds. I'm not 100% sold, but I think in the short term, things will most likely be better. For the Venezuelans, for America, I don't think we'll notice anything, really. And that's where it kind of seems odd. When you get into the big money of everything, that's where it starts to get, you know, whoa, let's pull back a little bit. I'm a capitalist. I love capitalism. I'm all for it. But, you know, when you have these oil companies coming in and giving freedom to all that oil, and you altruistically say, oh, Venezuela's going to get a bunch of money from it, you know, that's hard to believe when there's oil companies involved. I'm sure they will get some trickle down, but, and I hope it's not that way. I hope that they handle it well. I hope that they do help the Venezuelan people, because you know, there's a lot of people who are pretty isolationist nowadays in all their countries, and I believe in that to a degree, but I also believe in, you know, when you are a superpower like the U.S. is, it is good to lend a hand, but you know, then you always. There's always the element where you can overstep the bounds. And also, by the way, before I continue, let it be known that I am not on the left or the right. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. They both hate me. You know, they would call me an enlightened centrist as a slur almost. But I take it with pride. I'm an enlightened centrist. I sit on the fence. I know I'm not a fence sitter. Sometimes I lean one way. Sometimes I lean the other. And I think that's the best way to be, honestly. The enlightened centrist is the way. To me, it's absurd to think that only one way is right. You know, sometimes some guy's gonna be right, sometimes the other side's gonna be right, and you gotta take a mix of the both. And as far, a lot of people hate the two-party system in America, which it has its faults for sure, but that's part of one of the benefits of it is that deadlock that we end up in a lot of the time. And this is very elementary stuff I'm talking about. I'm sorry to bore you guys, but that deadlock that people always talk about in Congress where nothing gets passed, nothing ever happens, it is part of the benefit of having a two-party system, because then only the best of the things go through that have unanimous or mostly unanimous backing end up going through. But should we listen to, wait, what else did I want to show you? He had a couple other things he was talking about.
And I want to thank law enforcement. It's been amazing.
Yeah, he said there was some law enforcement involved, which seems a little wild.
As you know, in Chicago, then crime went down a little bit there.
Another thing he said the youngest member on the during the task force was 20 years old. Can you imagine that? A 20-year-old? Because what, you mean you can join the army or any military branch when you're 18? The guy been training for 2 years and he goes on his first. I mean, I guess that's the way. But this seems like a very highly precise, a lot of planning. So it seems. I mean, I'm not a military guy, but it does seem pretty interesting that would be the way. And he said the oldest was 49 or something. But what else?
A little bit more hostile, a little bit tougher. A mental institution isn't to happen.
The first half was
Western
him just kind of saying.
Nicolas Maduro
What did Pete had to say?
Words. Thank you very much.
A lot of people love Trump. A lot of people love Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, but a lot of people hate him as well. So.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Finally, a commander.
I think, like I said, I'm an enlightened centrist. I don't hate him. I don't love him. I give them their flowers when they're due, and I say when they do a lot of bad stuff.
Chief, the world respects.
And like I said, right in this, I'm not 100% sold on their vision. Altruistically, like I'm saying, that it seems amazing, right? Oh, we're gonna help this country. They had a shit leader. Their economy's shit. We're gonna come in. We're gonna help them out. But even someone like Trump, who loves Ronald Reagan, I believe Ronald Reagan has the quote, right? "We're from the government and we're here to help," is the most horrifying words to hear, especially when it's somebody else's government. But so it is a bit of a paradox, but let's continue real quick.
The American people deserve. And as the president said, words can barely capture the bravery and the power and the precision of this historic operation.
Sorry to pause again, but also going from, obviously Pete Hegseth is quite a few years younger than Trump. If you listen to that whole first part of Trump talking, he is about to pass out. He freaking needed a bit of a bump, you could say, from those cartels. But he then when he came in, it kind of shifted the atmosphere when Pete Hegseth comes in. And then also at the end, Trump starts getting fired up with the questions. He loves interacting with the press. He loves interacting with the fake news.
A massive joint military and law enforcement raid flawlessly executed by the greatest Americans our country has to offer. American warriors are second to none, the best in the world and the best of our country. What all of us witnessed last night was sheer guts and grit, gallantry and glory of the American warrior. I'm simply humbled by such men, and I tip my hat to our chairman, Dan Raisin Kane, and all those Americans who stood watch last night. Our warriors are the elite of America, and again, President Trump has your back. No other country on planet Earth, and it's not even close, could pull this kind of operation off. And no other president has ever shown this kind of leadership, courage, and resolve, the most powerful combination the world has ever seen. As the president said, our adversaries remain on notice. America can project our will anywhere, anytime. The coordination, the stealth, the lethality, the precision, the very long arm of American justice, all on full display in the middle of the night. Nicolas Maduro had his chance, just like Iran had their chance, until they didn't and until he didn't. He effed around, and he found out. President Trump is deadly serious about stopping the flow of gangs and violence to our country. Deadly serious about stopping the flow of drugs and poison to our people. Deadly serious about getting back the oil that was stolen from us. And deadly serious about reestablishing American deterrence and dominance in the Western Hemisphere. This is about the safety.
To address that real quick, I personally don't know the history of it in depth enough to lean one way or the other. Of course, my fence-sitting centrist ways. Before I would make a decision, I would have to look into that a lot more. But I do know somewhat about it. The U.S. did build a lot of the infrastructure in Venezuela for the oil industry, and they have a shit ton of oil, by the way. And that's what he's talking about right there when he says the oil they stole or whatever he just said. That's what he's talking about. Because I think was it during Jimmy Carter maybe back then? I think Jimmy gave away the Panama Canal as well, or didn't he? But I guess that's all I wanted to say about that. But I would say look into it. Everyone who, if you don't know about it, look into it and see what your thoughts on it are.
Security, freedom, and prosperity of the American people.
That's the number one thing you should take away from me is don't listen to anything I have to say beyond entertainment. Maybe if I can point you in a direction to look at, maybe. But beyond that, anything I have to say is completely entertainment based.
This is America first. This is peace through strength. And the United States War Department is proud to help deliver it. Welcome to 2026. And under President Trump, America is back. I'd like to welcome now our Chairman Raisin Kane, to give a few more details about the operation, Mr. Chairman.
Also, what I wanted to mention another thing about kind of like the glaze fest that politicians like to do. And also, if it's a crime to be a America glazer, U.S. glazer, I've done the crime and I'll do the time. Officer, take me in. Judge, give me the sentence, I love America. We're the greatest. We're the best there ever was. and the best there ever will be. The only thing that's going to be better is America in 100 years, hopefully. But it does, it feels, I don't know, do we need that all the time from politicians? You know, it feels good. You know, we want to hear it. Oh, yeah, we're the best. We're the number one. But it seems, I don't know. I guess you need to, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say even. I guess I'm just pointing it out. The hype. Like this first, what is this? The first 30 minutes or so is just all hype before they give us real details. Well, and then when this general here comes in, he gives kind of a layout. I don't know if we'll listen to that.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you,
if I would say take a listen.
Last night on the order of the President.
It's pretty interesting to hear him talk about it. He doesn't go into super detail, obviously, but he talks about it. What did Marco had some good things to say.
To our nation are what makes us strong. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and thank you, Mr. President.
Well, I don't have much to add to what you've heard now, other than the following points. Nicolas Maduro was indicted in 2020 in the United States. He is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. That's not just us saying it. The first Trump administration, the Biden administration, the second Trump administration, none of those three recognize him. He's not recognized.
That's what we were talking about earlier. It's pretty universally, no one's going to be losing sleep that Maduro is taken out of power, just the way in which it happened.
By the European Union and multiple countries around the world. He is a fugitive of American justice with a $50 million reward, which I guess we say $50 million. And
make sure.
Yeah, exactly. But
don't let anybody claim it. Nobody deserves it but us.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolas Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when he tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this. We're going to take. This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how.
I would say, like I said, I'm not a Trump glazer. I'm not a Trump hater. I give him his flowers when they're due. I give him hate when it's due. But what Rubio is saying, I do think I agree with. And I think a lot of people agree with that because I think in his first term there, I think people really started to understand, or if people had forgotten, many presidents in the past, there's a bunch of information about it. Each branch of the government, they're always trying to get as much power as they possibly can, and that's good. We want each branch to try and be the most powerful, and then the other two check them. But each one needs to strive for that power. We want them to. It's part of the game, if you will. And I forget. Honestly, a lot of people kind of. It's happened all over time, but a lot of people look back to FDR. He obviously expanded his powers quite a bit, but rightfully so. He was in a dire situation. The country was in a tough spot. Then with World War II after, but then after that, each president pushes the boundaries. How much can they get away with under the Constitution? Like I said, I'm not an expert on the Constitution. I know it. I love it. I'm not an expert on law in any way, but what I mean to say, I think people had forgotten, or if they didn't know, when in Trump's first term there, I think they really realized how much a president can actually do and get away with. Whether you liked it or not, you understood the power of that. Because a lot of times people say, oh, president doesn't matter. They can't do anything. But I think he proved that the president really can do a lot of stuff if they want to, and they don't care about ruffling feathers.
They haven't figured this out, and now if you don't know, now you know, because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences, and if he says he's serious about something, he means it. And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest of the United States, and the president addressed it. This is a president of peace, by the way. I told you what I just said earlier. This guy had multiple opportunities to find his way somewhere else and figure out another. He could have been living somewhere else right now very happy, but instead he wanted to play big boy. And so now, he's got other sets of problems on his hands. And but I think that the message here should be for the world. Look, the president doesn't go out looking for people to pick fights with. He's not generally wants to get along with everybody. We'll talk and meet with anybody, but don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office because it's not going to turn out well. And so I hope that I guess that lesson was learned last night, and we hope it'll be instructive moving forward.
Mr. President.
Here we get this question. I think
Mr. President, you said that the U.S. is going to run Venezuela, so who's in power right now?
Well,
like that. Obviously, that's the main question on everybody's mind. Like, who the hell is going to run Venezuela now? What the hell's going on?
We'll be running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which will cost billions of dollars. It'll be paid for by the oil companies directly. They will be reimbursed for what they're doing, but it's going to be paid. And we're going to get the oil flowing the way it should be. As you know, it was just a minor flow. It was actually a minor flow for what they have. But we're going to run it properly, and we're going to make sure the people of Venezuela are taken care of. We're going to make sure the people that were forced out of Venezuela by this thug are also taken care of.
Mr. President, does the U.S. running the country mean that U.S. troops will be on the ground? How will that work?
Well, you know, they always say boots on the ground. Oh, so we're not afraid of boots on the ground if we have to have. We had boots on the ground last night at a very high level, actually. We're not afraid of it. We don't mind saying it. But we're going to make sure that that country is run properly. We're not doing this in vain. This is a very dangerous attack. This is an attack that could have gone very, very badly. Could have gone very badly. We could have lost a lot of people last night.
Obviously, he's pretty vague.
Decided not to do anything about it. Track, make a lot of money for the people, and give people a great way of life, and also reimburse.
This is the altruism I was talking about.
Now,
on the surface, sounds good, but you know, it's hard to see it play out sometimes.
Take over for Maduro. So you can look at, and others, we have fantastic people, including people in the military. So we're going to have a group of people running it until such time as it can be put back on track, make a lot of money for the people, and give people a great way of life, and also reimbursement for people in our country that were forced out of Venezuela.
You said earlier today that you weren't going to back Machado to come back and be the opposition leader in your Fox and Friends interview. And then you also mentioned the vice president of Venezuela. Are you going to work with the vice president of Venezuela, or how do you foresee the relationship
Well, I
going?
understand she was just sworn in, but she was, as you know, picked by Maduro. So Marco's working on that directly. He just had a conversation with her. And she's essentially willing to do what...
If you don't know, the vice president, there's two women, actually. Believe it or not. Two women are the ones who kind of are the top dogs down there now. The vice president there, and then the opposition leader. I forget her name. But a lot of people do like her, but Trump says here later on that he doesn't believe that she's going to be the one. And that's where, you know, people feel like they're even overstepping their bounds more. But
we think it's necessary to make Venezuela great again. Very simple.
Mr. President, Colombian President Gustavo Petro, a couple weeks ago, he said he's got to watch his ass. And today, he said he's not concerned about anything happening to him in the aftermath of this operation. So, just what are your messages?
Well, he has cocaine mills. He has factories where he makes cocaine. And yeah, I think I stick by my first statement. He's making cocaine. They're sending it into the United States. So he does have to watch his ass.
Mr. President, did you notify any members of Congress in advance?
Marco, do you want to talk about that? Because you were involved.
I assume this is a question a lot of people had as well. Another good question, reporter. Because like I said, I would say a lot of people would see this almost as an act of war, right? And you obviously need Congress for that, but Marco, take it away.
Congress immediately after. This was not the kind of mission that you can do congressional notification on. It was a trigger-based mission in which conditions had to be met night after night. We watched and monitored that for a number of days. So it's just simply not the kind of mission you can call people and say, hey, we may do this at some point in the next 15 days. But it's largely a law enforcement function. Remember, at the end of the day, at its core, this was an arrest of 2 indicted fugitives of American justice, and the Department of War supported the Department of Justice in that job. Now, there are broader policy implications here, but it's just not the kind of mission that you can pre-notify because it endangers the mission.
If I can add one thing to that, Congress has a tendency to leak. This would not be good. If they leaked, General, I think it would have been maybe a very different result. But I have to say, they knew we were coming at some point, you know. A lot of ships out there, they sort of knew we were coming.
Was there one other thing I want to show you?
To other countries, many of whom are using it now, but I would say many more will come.
Are you saying that, Mr. President, are you saying that... Oh.
Mr. President, thank you. What is your message to the people of Venezuela today? Of course, the civilian population specifically, they have a lot of questions. What is your message to the people of Venezuela?
That you're going to have peace, justice. You're going to have some of the riches that you should have had for a long period of time. It was stolen from you. But you're going to have peace, and you're going to have safety. You're going to have justice. You're going to have a country. You're going to have a real country. You're going to have potentially a great country. You know, if you go back 20 years, maybe even a little longer ago, that was a great country, and they destroyed it. Remember I said that if we lose this election, long conversation with Marco, and she said, we'll do whatever you need.
She's talking about the vice president now.
She really doesn't have a choice. We're going to have this done right. We're not going to just do this with Maduro, then leave like everybody else, leave and say, you know, let it go to hell. If we just left.
That's what we were talking about earlier as well. The power vacuum, if you will, and how much involvement do you want in setting up the new government, which we haven't had the best track record with, if we're being honest. But, you know, different scenario, hopefully different outcome.
It has zero chance of ever coming back. We'll run it properly. We'll run it professionally. We'll have the greatest oil companies in the world go in and invest billions and billions of dollars and take out money, use that money in Venezuela. And the biggest beneficiary are going to be the people of Venezuela. And also, I can't stress this strongly enough, the people that got thrown out of Venezuela that are now in the United States, and frankly, some want to stay, and some probably want to go back. Yeah.
So, Mr. President, what is being done to protect Americans in the country, and were any of the detained Americans?
Well, right now they're very protected because nobody's going to mess with us. They're very protected. The people, and we let them know that you better not touch one of them.
Are you concerned that bad elements of the Maduro regime will remain in place?
Well, we know.
A few minutes ago about when the president speaks, you should take him seriously.
Then they asked about
also
Cuba.
help the people that were forced out of Cuba and living in this country. Do you want to say something about that, Marco, please?
Well, I mean, I just gave you a statement a few minutes ago about when the president speaks, you should take him seriously. So suffice it to say, Cuba is a disaster. It's run by incompetent, senile men.
So yeah, I think it'd be great if we could be friends with Cuba again. I'd be down. Because I guess that's another benefit you could say if you're pro this incursion or whatever you want to call it. It gives a little more legitimacy if anybody did think that Trump was not serious about these things, where now they might be more open to negotiations. And I'm not saying that's good one way or the other, but I think it's a good outcome, possibly. Because I mean, freaking Cuba's a couple, not even, is it not even 100? Is it less than 100 miles off of Florida? Let me look that up real quick. Why can't I remember this? How far is Cuba? 90 to 100 miles. And we can't go there. They can't come here. There was that little opening for a while. I don't know if it's still on. Or if they're still doing it or what have you. I mean, why the hell not? Let's be friends. But, I don't know. Let's continue listening.
In some cases, not senile, but incompetent nonetheless. It has no economy. It's in total collapse. And by the way, they were, all the guards that helped protect Maduro, this is well known, their whole spy agency, all that were full of Cubans. I mean, it's amazing. This poor island took over Venezuela in some cases. One of the biggest problems the Venezuelans have is they have to declare independence from Cuba. They tried to basically colonize it from a security standpoint. So, yeah, look, if I lived in Havana and I was in the government, I'd be concerned, at least a little bit.
Cutting off the oil flow to Cuba from Venezuela?
Well, the president already announced a week ago that anything that's sanctioned oil, it's not going to be allowed to get there. So that's an experience.
That was kind of funny. You gotta give that one too, I guess. Like Rubio was being very diplomatic, and then Trump was like, "Yes."
The answer is yes.
Mr. President, is the U.S. aware of the location of opposition leader Machado, and have you been in contact with her?
No. Yeah, this is that opposition leader.
On Monday.
I think it'd be very tough for her to be the leader. She doesn't have the support within or the respect within the country. She's a very nice woman, but she doesn't have the respect.
Mr. President, is it possible that the U.S. ends up administrating Venezuela for years?
Well, it won't cost us anything because the money coming out of the ground is very substantial. So it's not going to cost us anything. We will. Well, we want safety there. We want to be surrounded by countries that aren't housing all of our enemies all over the world. That's what that was happening, and you don't want to have that. But we're going to be rebuilding, and we're not spending money. The oil companies are going to go in. They're going to spend money. We're going to take back the oil that, frankly, we should have taken. They settled 8 1/4 war. You know what the 1/4 was? Thailand and Cambodia.
Oh, this is kind of interesting.
No, we didn't. We never spoke about Maduro.
Are you mad at him right now?
Bad question. In which case, I'll go one word. It's about the form of reimbursement for the damages caused us by that country. So I want to thank you all very much. Thank you. Do you have one? Yes, please. You were so nice before. I'm going to give you the final question.
Thank you, Mr.
Unless it's a bad question, in which case I'll go one word.
It's about Putin. If you want.
About Putin. Well,
okay.
Always nice.
You had a phone call with him on Monday. Did he talk at all about Maduro? Did y'all talk about this?
No, we didn't. We never spoke about Maduro.
Are you mad at him right now? I mean,
This is that's some great phrasing. Are you mad at him right now, Mr. President?
I'm not thrilled with Putin. I'm not thrilled with Putin. He's killing too many people.
There was that intelligence.
I thought that would be so. I settled 8 1/4 war. You know what the 1/4 was? Thailand and Cambodia. I did it again. They broke out, and I did it in about 5 hours, and I settled it. I'm giving myself 1/4, so I'm up to now 8 1/4. In other words, I settled the war, but then they broke out. They had a pretty bad breakout over the last 4 days. I got them to go back to peace, so I only give 1/4. I thought the easiest one would be one of the easier ones would be Russia, Ukraine. It's not, and they both.
So I don't know if you guys have seen this thing about the new drones they've been using over there. Let me pull that up real quick if I can. Because they were being jammed so frequently. They were adapting to the drone warfare. And I don't know. Hopefully this isn't misinformation. But now they're doing what they're doing. They're running fiber optic, just a very thin fiber optic wire with it as it flies. And hold on, let me see this. So it leaves obviously that long thing behind it. Fiber optic cable. How fiber optic? Trying to find just a video of There's all these people explaining it, but it's. Oh, here's one. Freaking check this out.
A town in Ukraine's Donetsk region now stands as a stark testament to the evolution of modern warfare, with large parts of its area covered by a
That's
dense
all
network of
fiber optic cable or whatever wire, whatever you want to call it, from all the drones that are flying over. It just leaves it behind once they blow up.
Fiber optic cables abandoned by drone operators from both Ukrainian and Russian forces.
That's just sketchy.
Footage released by the drone battalion of Ukraine's 63rd Separate Mechanized Brigade.
But hey, it's the world we're in now, huh? Anyways, take it away, Mr. President.
Both have done some pretty bad things. And look, that's Biden's war. That's not my war. But I want to stop their lives. Did you see where last month, 30,000, it was 27,000.
All right, that's about it.
Doing deals,
you were just talking more about the Ukraine war.
Life is a big deal. But if I can stop that war and stop 30,000 young people, in addition to the fact that people are being killed in Kiev, people are being killed in other cities, you know, a much smaller number, but they're being killed, viciously killed. So I'm not happy about it. I thought that would be something that would get solved. We have Mr. Witkoff here. I think that we're making progress, but that's a war that should have never happened. If I were president, it would have never happened. Putin says it. Everybody says it. If I were president, that would.
Remember what I was telling you? That first 20 minutes where he was talking, he was like, "We're about to pass out and fall asleep." And his last part where he's interacting with the press, he gets fired right up. Got him going.
It never happened. But I inherited that war. That was Joe Biden, Zelensky, and Putin. I came into the situation, and it's a mess. And I will say this. I watched an operation last night that was so precise, that was so brilliant.
Anyways, that's that. And then so I just saw this. Let's take a peek what the other world leaders have to say at the moment.
Waking up to a new reality with what happened overnight. We have our CB Cotton, who has been following reaction from all over the world. CB, there's been plenty of reaction here in the United States. Democrats, Republicans split on whether or not this was an illegal or legal move. But around the world, there's also harsh reaction as well. What can you tell us, CB?
Hey, Brian, that's right. Well, this morning, the UN Secretary General released a statement saying he is deeply concerned that international law may not have been respected. As you mentioned, global leaders are watching as all of this unfolds to see what comes next for Venezuela and U.S. foreign policy in Europe. The European Council president released a statement, Antonio Costa, and he said he was following the developments with, quote, great concern, urging de-escalation and respect of international law. Some Latin American countries are also making similar calls. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum reposted the official statement of her country's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which condemned the strikes as a violation of the United Nations and called for dialogue, not force. U.S. adversaries are also weighing in. Russia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, writing in part on X, quote, the pretext used to justify these actions are untenable. Russia reaffirms its solidarity with the Venezuelan people. Iran and its supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, which also has a long history of conflict with the U.S. Well, he has rattled off a series of posts this morning about the strike, including one which says in part, quote, what's important is when one realizes an enemy wants to force something on one's government or nation with false claims, they must stand firmly against the enemy. But there are also voices of support. Argentina's president, a strong ally of President Trump, wrote, quote, freedom advances.
That's a lot of South America at the moment. They are pretty pro Trump and the current administration. Because I think they kind of have seen what they kind of see that the U.S. will kind of step in now and help with a lot of the bad things that have been happening. But I guess we'll have to wait and see how it turns out.
Long live freedom. And in the UK, reform leader and staunch Trump ally Nigel Farage, he questioned the legality of the attack, but said it may lead to a favorable outcome. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer had more a reserved take, saying he wanted to make it clear that the UK was not involved in these strikes, and he believes everyone should uphold international law. He also added that he wants to speak to President Trump and other UK allies. Brian, we're going to monitor it. Back to you.
I would like to know, we could look that up. We'll probably move on here in just a moment, but I don't know. I'll probably look that up on my own time, and I encourage you guys to as well. I do wonder what I assume there is some avenue where it is 100% legal if you argue it in the right way, but it does seem sketchy. I will say that. If nothing else, it's pretty sketchy. But like I said, the Trump side of the aisle, I would assume they believe the ends justify the means, and the outcome's going to be far greater than any consequence from the action itself. But the people who disagree with Trump, they will definitely say that he did something illegal and should be impeached. which if he did, he should. And there's a lot of people in the middle who don't know what the hell they're talking about, like me. Folks, let's switch gears, why don't we? Let's move from political, potential life-altering events for the geopolitical aspect of the world. And let's move into some creator content. TraxNYC. Have you heard of him? Do you like him? Do you hate him? Another polarizing guy from New York. But if you don't know who he is, I don't know if you guys have seen on TikTok, like Vukum. He's the big one on 47th Street, the Diamond District. He kind of popularized making all these jewelers famous, basically. And these jewelers, these watch sellers, resellers, what have you. And this Trax character is one of that has risen up with the Vukum wave. And Vukum's kind of taken a backseat, honestly. But he's the one who popularized it. And if you know somebody from 47th Street, it's probably Vukum. But Trax, like I said, he's a pretty... he was in Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler, had a little part in that. But he's very polarizing. From what I've seen, he honestly, he does seem like he might be a stand-up guy at the end of the day. And after this, I think you'll probably like him more if you don't like him. If you liked him before, you're going to love him now. But I would also suggest, I love watching those watch videos. Those, the fast flips from Vukum and all that. I do enjoy those, honestly. But let's take a peek at this video that he put out where he was wronged in a business sense. And let's take a peek at his reaction.
Money! Motherfucker! Where's my fucking money?
As you can see, he's pretty heated.
Where's my fucking money? Motherfucker! Where's my fucking money? Where's my money? I got this bracelet. Where's my money? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? God, motherfucker. You say VVS, I3, 14 carat, and you're using my name, you bitch!
6447. 6447.
Yeah, 6447. Thief! You f***ing thief! Bitch!
Stop. Take him out. Stop. Take him out.
Yeah. No. Get your hands off of me, bro. Take your hands off of me, bro.
This guy right here in the baseball hat, he's another one of the jewelers on 47th Street. He makes his videos and stuff. I think his name is Benny. And Trax's name is Max.
You give me my money.
You're never gonna see that. You'll never see it in your life.
So that's kind of the first thing that most people saw. But now, is this his actual page? Because he put up some stuff with a backstory on it, I think.
So not only did these
So this is the... Now, I can find the other one, but this other company, that guy you saw, the older-looking gentleman, if you will, he was using Trax's name not only to steal his customers, but also to scam the people who would be normally buying from Trax. He was scamming them. And not in the full sense, but in the sense that... So this bracelet that he was given sold, I think it was like $22,000 he paid for it. Ended up being 9 or 10 karat gold where it was advertised as 14. The grading of the diamonds was far less than it should have been for the price, and they were using Trax's name to sell this scam bracelet.
pieces of shit, okay, rip you off on this fucking thing. It turned out to be 9 karat gold, right? You had a check?
Yes.
So they're going to be giving you $1,000 on top. Here's $22,000 for your.
And so out of his own money, because he doesn't want his name associated with this at all, he is making this man whole, giving this man $22,000, and he's saying that the other company's going to give him $1,000 on top of it. But
you're in trouble. These bums.
And so, from my understanding, this is that in that first video we saw, this is their kiosk in on 47th Street or wherever they are, the Diamond District, and he's just in there trashing the joint.
Bro, you get people in this exchange, people in this. Stop being greedy pieces of fucking lying shit. So I'm Trax. I want this. Coming up with a fucking scheme every fucking time. Keep fucking scheming, bro. 9 carat this, 2 carat that, this, that. Security what, bro? Fucking bullshit, bro. Stop fucking stealing. You gotta come up. I want my fucking money, motherfuckers, bro. I gave the money up. You wanna be TraxNYC? Here's TraxNYC. Akai. Garbage.
And Akai is the name of the company. But let me see if I can find that first one. He explains it in a bit more detail. And then we'll look at because after that first interaction we saw, there's actually a bit of a brawl that breaks out. Honestly, I kind of use TikTok as a bit of a search engine these days. I don't know if you guys do that or okay, here it is.
So this is the receipt from this disgusting company that pretends to be me, says they're TraxNYC, sells my customer a bracelet, rips them off, and rips them off on the gold. Shit, they're saying it's 14 karat gold. Well, we're gonna test this bracelet right now. Start the test. 10 karat gold. So did they say they were TraxNYC?
Yeah, he tried to portray, he tried to sell one of your products. He said that he ran out one of your rings that you purchased.
Right, that we sell. So you came with a picture of TraxNYC.
Yep, I opened up the website for him.
And then he said he ran out, even though he has nothing to fucking do with me other than to steal my fucking customers all day long. These rats have done this over and over and over again, and I tolerated it. And now they fucked them over on the carrot as well. Yo, Akai, you are fucking thieves, bro. The most disgusting people you'll ever see in your life. It's 64 West 47th Street. Akai is the booth. We're gonna get our money back. $22,000
And he's not messing around. He's dropping addresses. He's dropping the name.
for me and for all the other customers they scammed. Pull up. We'll group together.
I assume that's part of another reason. If this is the first time, maybe he probably wouldn't have been as upset. But from the sounds of it, they've been using his name in a deceitful, scamming way for a while. So he's pretty heated.
Together, we'll sue them and we'll take their property. 64 West 47th.
No, let me find the full brawl real quick. Because it's somebody else filming from the balcony above where they're at. Oh, there it is. Oh, hold on. Guess the freaking guys. So the scammer here, take a peek at this. The scammer has the freaking audacity. He's getting called out. I mean, what do you expect? Scammers are a piece of shit, I guess. But so take it away. Take it away, Trax.
Fucking little bitch. You fucking bitch.
Look at this idiot, dude. He's like, he freaking does a shotgun blast to his face and spit, and then backs up like, If you spit in someone's face, that says, "Hey, it's on. Let's go." You know, the fight started. Okay, Trax is ready to rip here. Then he just lays a clean. Just a freaking clean open hand right to the top of that ball guy's head. Just a freaking wabba. And then chaos ensues.
Oh, they wildin'.
Oh my
So
God.
Trax is there in the middle actually.
Yeah, get that girl.
Oh yeah, here's the shit back here. Then he starts fighting with somebody else. And here's some aftermath from Trax. He looks like he's got a couple knots on his forehead there.
Get out of this hospital.
Got strangled a bit.
Fucking little bitch. You fucking bitch.
It's just love how much of a idiot this guy looks like afterwards. And Trax is looking like a freaking animal coming to kill him. Whoa, what's this one? This is this the bald guy got slapped in the head by Trax, getting strangled out? Love to see it. And then there's a follow up here. They ended up getting arrested. So at the end of the day, that is the good news. Do we have that one though? If you want to see him do the perp walk. Yes, here we go. Hold it, please.
Bye. Have a good one. Have a good one. Have a good one. Have a good one.
And everybody's all fired up, of course. They're all jazzed the frig up.
Bye. Have a good one. Have a good one.
Cool one, I guess. This is gonna lead up to some good memes. I'm telling you. Wow, let me save this one for later. A green screen of this. How do you like things on here and save?
Fucking funny, motherfucker!
That is some good green screen right there.
Fucking funny, bitch!
But yeah, here they are. There's that old bastard. There's the bald bastard got slapped on the top of his head. And then Trax comes out and the people get fired up. I don't know how this must have happened pretty.
They tried to kill me.
Like I don't know why they're all in the same place still, and it's a bit confusing to me. But
they tried to kill me.
They tried to kill me. Yeah, and I mean, can you blame the people for loving him? He's fiery. He got pissed off at the scammers. He went and laid down the law. Here, let me give you a little taste of some other stuff that he does.
How much you think
does
this
like
worth?
125,000.
125,000, close enough. Here you go. Here's a kilo of silver. All right, there you go.
So he just brings out different pieces of jewelry into the street and sees if people can guess close enough, and he gives out some money depending on their guess.
Money for him, but I gave it to him anyway, ma'am. Just
a kilo. How much is a kilo of silver going for right now? Freaking 2 G's. Holy guacamole, boys and girls. All right. Wait, is that right? So, all right, a price for a kilogram of silver fluctuates constantly. But as of early January 2026, you're looking at, wait, let's check the spot price. When was this video? This video, oh, this video, okay, in 2023. I assume he would still do it. Kilo price 2023. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Wow, I didn't really realize silver has jumped that much. So more like $1,000, but still, this guy who just casually just made $1,000, he just freaking.
Here you go. Here's a kilo of silver.
He just grabs a G-bar and walks away.
That was too much money for him, but I gave it to him anyway. Ma'am, just take it. $500,000.
800,000.
800,000. All right, close enough. You got a kilo of silver.
There you go.
Well, and I know another thing. He was actually beefing with 50 Cent. Where's a recent one where he's done doing this?
Hey, listen. Guess the price for a value.
Oh my God. Gold.
Yes. How much?
Let me think. What is that? That's not a 20-pound brick of gold.
Hold it.
Is he holding it like that?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no, it's thin. It's thin. How much is it?
Right.
How much gold is it?
You're gonna get paid. Silver and gold.
500,000. Gold's like. I can't even remember what gold is an ounce.
500,000.
500,000 is a good guess. You want silver or you want cash?
Cash.
Cash? Okay.
So since you chose cash, and you chose a good number, I'm going to give you some cash in your hand, and the cash you're missing out because you chose cash instead of silver is going up in the air. That's it. You win and lose. TraxNYC.com. Hey, listen.
So you can see he's pretty. You can understand why he's a divisive guy, but I can't see anybody not being on his side in this last scenario. What's going on here?
So this is what $58,000 worth of silver feels like. It's shipwrecked silver from World War II.
Interesting.
And
$58,000. I like those street ones. Let's get one more street one. Please load. TikTok, load please.
50 or 100?
That's too high. You don't gotta listen to your pops, man. He sabotaged you, bro. Yes, all right. Let's go. Let's get out. We gotta go. We got one way, but you gotta push that thing before it gets too hot out here. We got a big crystal over here, sir.
An amethyst like that? Yeah, it's not worth that much.
The value of this thing? Yeah.
Is that just an amethyst geode? Is it that much money?
That's too high. You don't gotta listen to your pops, man.
How much? 12K? Is it really that valuable?
Sabotaged you, bro.
Or they, nobody
Yes, all right. Let's go. Let's get
they
out.
don't
We gotta
freaking
go.
know. No, let me get another street one. I like the street ones. Let me get one where it gives out some silver. Oh, is this the brass or the diamond knuckles one? This was pretty kind of cool. Yo, what's up? Oh, this is Lottie. What's up, Lottie? Sorry, I missed your chat just now. If you're still here, what's up? You just been hanging around, been busy? Well, I'm glad you're back. We're just doing some reacting today. Current events. I don't know if you saw, did you see this Trax guy getting that fight? Do you follow any of these jewelers on TikTok or anything? The Vukums or any of those folks? Hey, listen, Lottie, you don't freaking apologize to me. You got your own life to live. I'm just happy whenever you can show up. I can't wait till you can come to a trivia night. Maybe win some loot. Win the big bucks. Well, actually, now that's what I was looking for. Actually, I was looking for. Oh no, we already pulled up the full Brawl. But here, let's pull that up again. It was too good. Where is the one? Or actually, he posted it, didn't he? Yes, this one.
Little bitch, you fucking bitch.
Freaking sprays him down with the shotgun blast of spit. And what does he expect going to happen? Just a clean slap to the top of the head. Look at him in the middle there, just getting munched on.
Yeah, get that girl.
You're David.
Oh, no.
Idiots, am I right? Friggin' folks. But now, I think we've talked about Trax enough. Let's transition to our last topic of the night, which is, I don't know if Lottie, if you've seen this, you seem like you're tapped in with the TikTok. The Dr. Pepper. Where's my Dr. Pepper hat? Where the hell did I put my Dr. Pepper hat? I have my Dr. Pepper on me. But the Dr. Pepper jingle is going viral. By I know, right? But by a young lady named Romeo, she goes by on her account. The Dr. Pepper. And here's the thing, people that they're a little bit concerned that Dr. Pepper's not going to make good use of this. Romeo. Oh, I did see that. If that's true, if they just steal it, if they just take it from her, then they're done. They're cooked. I will have to stop buying Dr. Pepper. I'm a huge Dr. Pepper fan. Let me go grab the hat real quick. Bam. Found it. Yeah, they may be a little cooked. Listen, I love Dr. Pepper. It is one of the top sugary beverages ever made. One of the greatest friggin' soft drinks that has ever existed. But if they do our girl Rome, what have you, like this, you don't even know why it's so good. I know that all them friggin' 23 flavors. Here, let me pull up a is it Roman? Romeo. We'll pull up her original first. Why? I typed in Dr. Pepper Jingle Romeo, and it comes up with this 22 liked video. Give me the original.
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it goes like
Pause.
this.
You're not getting any views. We're giving it to where I just saw the name. What the hell? Please. They better not have taken. Okay, here we go. Oh, we're in. We're in.
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it goes like this.
Hold on, pause. Let me make sure the Valium's good for you guys. Yes.
Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice. Doo-doo-doo.
So, right off the bat, absolute heat. Absolute heat right there. You know? Give it to us again, Rome.
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it goes like this. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice. Doo-doo-doo.
See, so that hits, right? Look at all these comments. Subway, do me. Philadelphia Eagles, I like the do-do-do part. Popeyes, get her on the phone now. That really is heat. Indeed. You're hired. Wingstop, me next. Welch's Fruit Snacks, not to be a pick-me, but us next. P.F. Chang's coming out of the woodwork. King's Hawaiian. Oh, is that the bread? Hyundai. Panera Bread. Buffalo Wild Wings. The list goes on. All these brands, all these Zoomers in these brands, they're media literate, if you will. They know this is a phenomenal opportunity. This woman made this on her own accord. She didn't have to. And it's gone viral for free. I know, she really just became so famous immediately. So here's the thing. People say, so I've looked on here. I cannot find Dr. Pepper. I found a link where I found a comment that they did leave on this, which is odd. I need to see if I can find it again. It was like a backdoor way, but then, so the other one, this guy, no, that's not. Where's the original one? A guy remixed it and made it sound even more beautiful. Hold on, let me go to profile. Where is it? Is it this one? That's a little interesting, I know, right? Oh, here it is.
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it
Hold
goes
on,
like...
Did I just blow your eardrums? So this guy, he hears it. Oh, wait, no, this isn't the... I'm all over the place. Hold on. Where's the guy who remixed it? Oh, here it is. Is this it?
I have a theme song for Dr.
Yes. Oh, I think this is the comment, too. Hold on. I think we're in. All right.
Pepper, and it goes like this. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice.
Oh, so you mean like...
And this guy hits it with a little bit of...
Baby, it's good and nice. Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good and nice. Ooh, Dr. Pepper, baby.
Now you're telling me Dr. Pepper is sitting on their hands right now. I feel like people should just look at the stamps from when she posted to the new commercial. I know, right? Look at the timestamps. But the... Oh, that's got some... It's for real, Lottie. Like, this guy, he did this for free. Dr. Pepper's getting all this, And they can't even reach out. But so wait, hold on. So this guy says they replied. Dr. Pepper replied to her comment. They sure did. I hope it. But how did I find it last time? There was a way. Oh, wait. But then this is their account. Swang. Hey, put a little swamp on it. A little swang on it. But so this is this thing's been out for like what, a week or two now. This is the post that they have up. What the hell's going on, Dr. Pepper? We don't want EDM. Freaking Christmas. What the hell is this? Why did you... Oh, they deleted their comment. Why did you delete your comment on Romeo's video? No, we want the Dr. Pepper jingle, not this EDM. For real. What the hell is wrong with you, Dr. Pepper? You're fucking up big time. But I need to figure out how I found that comment.
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it
After
goes
we
like
listen to this again real quick.
Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice.
Oh, so you mean like...
He forgot the doodly doo.
Baby, it's good and nice. Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good and nice. Ooh, Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good and nice.
They say Dr. Pepper, baby, tastes good on ice. See, and then they just keep going with it. Now I need to figure out how I found this comment. See, the Eagles are even... Oh, Eagles burner? Is that real? I need to figure this out. It gets even better. How did I find this comment?
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it goes like this. Dr. Pepper, baby.
How did I don't know how I did this voodoo.
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it goes like this.
What else? And then people are making like their own commercials to it.
And it goes like this. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice.
Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good and nice. Dr. Pepper, baby.
Watching this, you cannot tell me that marketing, these $1 million marketing companies, is not a scam. These people are doing it for free on TikTok, better than the things we see all the time on TV or the internet. From these multi-million-dollar contracts that these advertising agencies get, these marketing companies. And then Rome gives us this.
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it goes like this.
Unbelievable. But so, all right, I don't want to put the cart before the horse here. I don't know if that's the right saying for the situation, but maybe Dr. Pepper is working behind the scenes. Maybe they deleted their comment because they wanted to be a surprise or something. Maybe they're flying Rome out to do a recording session. Maybe they're flying that other guy who remixed it out to do the mixing on it. But they better be doing something. That's all I know. Because like I said, I love drinking my Dr. Pepper. I love wearing my Dr. Pepper hat. But if they don't step up, if they don't make this right and start using that, they fucked up. And I don't know if I can keep buying Dr. Pepper. It's so good and nice. Man. No more updates though, huh? Oh, I think I like this one.
Do you know that you literally have 30 minutes?
Yeah, this guy had a good take, I think. It was basically the same take that we all have, but
because we're waiting
he expressed
to see
it very
you do
well.
something with this motherfucking jingle that's going mega viral. It's even in the news, Dr. Pepper. It's even in the news. They want you to do something with it. They literally talk about how this is going viral and that this would make an excellent Super Bowl commercial. So we waiting.
You throw that in the Super Bowl, Dr. Pepper becomes the #1 drink in the country.
We waiting at the We want to see Romero and Big Vibe. By the way, we want both of them featured for this amazing work.
I've been saying it. Is it Romeo or Romero? I know it. I understand the meme kind of, but that one it came out of nowhere. I don't even know how that one became so popular. Hey, Dr. Pepper, It is Romeo, right? He just said Romero funny.
The originality, she wrote the song, she made the jingle, all that, and then he put it to music. We want to see them rewarded because, see, this is giving you a lot of free publicity and a lot of free publicity. Now, I know you didn't ask for it. I know you didn't, and that's okay. And we also know you don't.
But the fact that you didn't ask for it makes it even better, you know? Because then it shows that even this big, even if you're not, like, you don't care about the young folks, you don't care about the people, you don't care about the small guy, you can make it look like you do. You know, it's just a win-win-win for everybody involved. Romeo, the other guy, Dr. Pepper, you all win if you work together, which they, of course, they want to. But now it's in Dr. Pepper's court. The ball is in their court.
Shit for them, not one thing. But if you do it, it will show us who you are. It will show us under those 23 flavors that give us that Dr. Pepper flavor, baby, that's so good and nice that you too are a company.
See, he's even starting to use the marketing. So good and nice. I think that they didn't want it to become Coke their rival company by trying to make Mr. Pibb. Ooh. Yeah, Mr. Pibb. Do they still make Mr. Pibb? Because Mr. Pibb was, because there was like Mr. Pibb Extreme or Extra or something. But do they still make that?
That's good and nice. That
So
you reward
good
innovation.
and nice.
That you reward the ingenuity. You care about us, the little people. And if you don't, bitch, well, your time is up and you fucked up a really good viral moment.
True, brother. You said it. You said it greatly. Let's get one. We got to get one more for the road. Where's the remix? Or is it this guy? Yes.
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it goes like
Just blow your drums out.
this.
Oh, they're trying to make Mr. Pibb big again. Ooh.
Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice.
Oh, that's the original. That's the original. Where's the remix one? I love that remix one too.
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it goes like this. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice.
Oh man, that hits. Oh, what else did you say, Lottie? I missed that other one. Now I'm fully understanding what you're saying. That's interesting. I wonder. Yeah, because technically Coke does Coke own Dr. Pepper, I think? Interesting. Interesting. Give us one more playthrough, though.
I have a theme song for Dr. Pepper, and it goes like this. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice. Dr. Pepper, baby, is good and nice.
Oh, man.
I have a theme song for Dr.
All right, let's check it. How is Romeo doing on... Are we not following? What the hell's wrong with me? What the hell? I'm talking shit about Dr. Pepper. I'm not even following. So, like, all the super big soda companies, like Pepsi, Coke, and random companies that own DP, all co-own shares. Yeah, because it's, basically Pepsi. It's either PepsiCo or Coke, right? I think that's how it goes. They, but wait, first Rome, she's up to 235,000 followers. But so I think it's, or I mean, we could look it up real quick. Oh, DP is their own company. Out of all the companies, they're one who's not owned. But like they work. They also own Sunkist and 7-Up. Actually, I like 7-Up. I'm a big 7-Up guy. Not a big one, but I'll run some cherry 7-Up from time to time. But yeah, like you were saying, they do. Is it the marketing? Coke in Europe, or they have somewhat of a connection with Coke in some way or the other, possibly. See, Coke companies. Coca-Cola Company. Coca-Cola Company is a global beverage giant, owning hundreds of brands, from sparkling drinks like Coke, Sprite, and Fanta, waters like Dasani and Smart Water, juices like Minute Maid. For some reason I thought PepsiCo owned Powerade. So in the States, people that own DP are the only ones that sell it. But in Europe, the other companies share. Oh, interesting. Coffee brands like Golden Peak, Costa Coffee. Yeah, they own. Yeah, Coke owns Barks. PepsiCo companies. PepsiCo, they own Frito-Lay, Quakers, the beverages. Yeah, they own Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Gatorade. That's kind of surprising, right? That they own, because Pepsi's always kind of plays second fiddle, but they own the number one sports drink. Tropicana, Aquafina, Sobe. I don't think they make Sobe anymore, do they? Let's see, Dr. Pepper companies. Prepper. Dr. Pepper. Yeah, Keurig. They're the ones who bought them. The DP's something way less known. Snapple 7-Up, Canada Dry. Yeah, because I think at one point Coke did own Dr. Pepper, but then it like bounced around over the years. Yes, there's 7-Up and Sunkist, like you were saying, Lottie. Yeah, and here's the international part that you were talking about. So Coke, they manage DP in the UK, Ireland, Japan, and South Korea. And then PepsiCo distributes it in several other markets. Interesting stuff. Well, here's the deal, Keurig Company, Dr. Pepper. You know what you got to do. You got to get Rome. You got to get Rome figured out, all right? You got to get her figured out, or people are going to be pissed. But, folks, I think we're going to wrap there. I know Lottie just came in to hang for a while, but I think we're just going to do a little short stream today. But we're going to stream again tomorrow. We're going to do some gaming tomorrow. Lottie, did you ever end up seeing the end of Dispatch? What we did over there? True. You did get an eye on it? Peaks, and honestly, it was peak cinema. They better do a season 2. Did you see in the playthrough I messed up? I wanted to do, so I think I would have ended up not getting Invisigal, but I wanted to lean out during the kiss. But I panicked and I leaned in kind of. Or I don't know if I panicked, I just messed up the click. And so we ended up with Invisigal, which I'm glad for. But in the situation where she was kissing us, I don't think we should have kissed her. You know what I mean? But hey, we can always play through again. And at least now in season 2, we'll have Invisigal by our side. I know, I was under pressure. I frigged it. I know, honestly, I did. I cracked under the pressure. But yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. I'm going to stream again tomorrow. We're going to do a little gaming. How many dudes? I don't know if you guys have seen it. Interesting little game, it looks like. And then Monday. Yeah, throw shreds in chat, everybody, before you go. Monday for trivia. Lottie, I hope you come by. But hope everyone has a good rest of their evening. And honestly, thanks so much for stopping by. You're really so cool. I love when people come by and chit chat, hang around. You guys are the best. But yeah, stop by tomorrow if you have a minute. If not, don't worry. Peace out, y'all.